For 40 years now, the Financial Institutions Training Center, FITC, has continued to deepen transformative knowledge solutions to financial services firms and other sectors of the economy as part of measures to ensure sustainability and value creation. Now, this milestone achievement by the FITC has brought about innovative thinking and advanced knowledge to strengthen the resources of the financial service sector and other sectors of the economy. As Nigeria's banking sector begins to gain massive rebound in the face of macroeconomic challenges occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, the 23.23% contribution of the sector to the Nigeria's gross domestic product for the third quarter of the year speaks volume of the significant role that the FITC plays in building a resilient and dynamic financial industry. Well, I introduced her earlier, and she's live in the studio. Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Institutions Training Center, Mrs. Chizor Malize. Good afternoon, and it's really good to have you in the studio.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, a lot has been said already in my introduction, and since 1981, that's been a while. You spent 4 decades doing all of this. Tell us some of your notable achievements, of course, within the sector.
I'll start from history. FITC is a world-class, knowledge-driven solution, and we are founded by the Act and set up by the Federal Government Act to be able to create innovative knowledge solutions for the financial service sector, knowing how critical that sector is to the growth of the economy. And so FITC is supervised by CBN, NDIC, and of course, top organizations in the financial service sector under the umbrella arm of the Bankers Committee. For an organization as critical as that within the financial service sector, it simply means that we must consistently create top quality products driven by excellence to consistently shape minds, build capacity, drive knowledge solutions that keep the financial service sector ahead. Over this period of 40 years, and still counting because there will be many more years, we've done some fantastic programs that cut across our learning programs that bring together executive education programs for senior leadership in financial service sector. And of course, programs that bring board leaderships ahead of their game. So you're talking about managers all the way to chief executive officers and board members, because they all need to consistently learn global developments, local developments, gather insights that can keep them ahead in their areas of operation. One more interesting program that we also run is the Chief Executive Continuous Education Program. That program is targeted at CEOs of banks, and we run that consistently with the Central Bank of Nigeria, bringing international resources to bring global insights. And the whole idea is to do what we do best, consistently keeping the industry equipped with knowledge solutions through learning, through advisory, through research and advocacy.
We must always keep learning. Even in our sector too, we keep doing that, updating ourselves. The anniversary summit, yes, I was there. I think there was a morning event and there was an evening event that CBN was actively in participation, talking about what I saw that day. But let's look at the theme for this year. You talk about towards a shared prosperity in Africa. It seems to resonate with all across Africa at the moment. Now, what is driving this and why is it at this time?
It is very important to speak to shared prosperity across Africa. We do know how much resources reside in this continent. And so talking about shared prosperity refers to optimizing all of the growth, economic development opportunities within the continent, for the continent, by us, the continent. And so where are these opportunities across all of the countries and regions of Africa that we can collaboratively harness in order to give prosperity to the continent? The continent has relied on the West too long, whether it's in human resources development and capacity development. But if you begin to look inwards, we've got the best in terms of natural resources, the reason the continent is attractive to a lot of people outside of it. We've got a lot of human capacity. And what can you say about our teeming youth population? All of these are resources that are capable of driving scale, through innovation, through technology, so we can begin to harness the opportunities for growth, for development in the country, in the continent, for the continent. And so if the continent becomes very prosperous because of such partnerships and collaborative efforts, then every single person will be highly advanced, both in terms of individual prosperity, organizational prosperity, corporate prosperity, and national prosperity.
Africa is challenged, series of problems. I agree with you that Africans are ready to speak with one voice. I was at the IATF in Durban, and I saw Africa speaking with one voice, talking about trade, businesses, and all of that. But let's look at the role that financial services can actually play in accelerating development across the continent, of course, to address some of these challenges.
First and foremost, we will start with products and services, financial service products that can stimulate economy and drive growth. And today, financial service products run across digital products, technology-driven products, digital banking, mobile banking. So businesses and individuals are able to do much more because the financial service sector had made significant investments in technology platforms that can help businesses and individuals engage and do much more. So if you take a look at the period of COVID, when it became obvious that the world could even do more digitally, leveraging technology, there was massive boom in terms of sectors that emanated and industries that emanated. That's because the financial service sector has provided a framework through which people can trade and engage. So it doesn't really mean you need not leave your space to be able to engage in any form of trade. You can be in your own home and comfort of your home and shop around everything that is your need. So it is only because the financial service sector had made significant investments in technology that is possible. Now, we've also seen the fintech company, which are also a part of the financial service sector. We've also seen the fintech company develop products that make it possible for SMEs to be able to engage. So they need not have a space or a shop in a mall to be able to trade. So SMEs are just like businesses and corporations, are able to trade with anybody anywhere in the world. I saw firsthand even the exporters that emerged from the SME segment, where people can just make whatever product out of Nigeria and out of Africa and ship it to anywhere in the world. That's because the financial service sector has created the platform that payments can even happen without you moving out of your region. And so logistics has also helped. Technology, you can't take away technology and telecommunications from the financial service sector. Some telecom companies are beginning to get licenses that make them representative of the financial service sector. They can do mobile banking and all of that. So it's a sector that's very critical to the economy. It's done so much in advancing technology, innovation, digital banking, mobile banking, products and applications that help the entire ecosystem work together and trade.
Now, let's talk about the big one, that big elephant in the cupboard. It's COVID-19 and the new one now, the Omicron. You know, that's the new one. And I'm looking at how this has affected learning, of course, and development across the industry. How has it affected?
It has affected, but I'll start with the great things that FITC has done over the period and in the heat of COVID-19.
Okay.
Prior to COVID-19 pandemic of last year, which started last year and it's still with us up until today, out of our visionary leadership and plans and strategic work, we created our strategy and we're focused on being able to leapfrog into technology-driven learning. And we build fantastic learning management systems, structures, processes, and programs that means that we can deliver much more digitally. Migrated all of our operations from up until 100% digital, so we did not even have to have any human interface. But the interesting thing is leveraging the opportunities of COVID, migrating onto technology, migrating onto digital platforms, changing and working all of our processes and platforms. We're able to consistently reach a minimum of 48 African countries, 6 continents of the world, and over 200,000 participants on that scale. So we have optimized technology, taking the opportunities from COVID to even leapfrog our strategic plan. And so today, we are doing far much more than we could do if you combine 10 years ago. In terms of reach, in terms of our brand footprint, in terms of the individuals that we impact. And so if you take a look at the financial service sector in Nigeria, a good number of them operate outside of the country. So they need not even move resources or people from one place to another, because all of our knowledge solutions is available everywhere and can reach everywhere.
So we didn't touch on some of the challenges then. At least there were little challenges with COVID.
There would always be. There would always be. So first and foremost, COVID did not give anyone warning anywhere in the world. True. It happened on all of us. Yeah. So many people thought, what's happening and going on in China? Yeah. We're seeing people drop. We're seeing people seeming lifeless. We were very concerned and curious at the same time, but nobody in the world ever thought it was going to become, a global spread. And by the time that it hit, several businesses were not very ready. In our own case, we shut down our operations and started online the next day. So part of the challenge is getting people to be able to move swiftly, to embrace technology and work around that. But the good thing is that for us at FITC, an innovation and technology-led organization already, we've got very agile workforce who are quite innovative, quite confident, and very, very optimistic. And so we all got onto it together. And the struggle of not seeing people one-on-one like was before, we were able to bring that by having very collaborative approach to our work. So every single person was part of most of the projects going on, whether it is in your purview or not. It helped people learn, helped people work together, helped people become very collaborative, and it helps to build friendships and family sense within the organization. And that was one of the ways we navigated the early challenges of COVID, which totally took people out of their comfort zone. But I think that we've all come around that now, having a more formidable, united, extremely intelligent and dynamic workforce.
I was to talk about how you've leveraged on technology, for exceptional service delivery on financial service sector. But I think you've touched basically on that. So let me wrap up almost this way now. That what are we looking at? We've seen 40 years, beautiful statements. You've been able to make the footprint. So in another 40 years or another 10 years, let's just project. What are you thinking? And also for the sector, what's your overview for the sector as we move on?
I'll start with the projections for the next 10 years. At least that helps us to talk about the future. Yeah. One of the greatest things we've done is to build a future-focused organization that is 21st century relevant. And we've done that at FITC in the last 2 years by totally reworking all of our programs, all of our learning programs, our advisory programs, our research programs, being at the forefront of thought leadership and as well as advocacy. Now, having done that, we've also done that by rebuilding our processes and our platforms so they are more cutting edge and technology driven. So you find out that technology is what drives us right now, and so that keeps us as an organization very cutting edge. The interesting thing is that people have done this. So we have a team of people who are future ready and future focused. They are consistently thinking about what next, and they are consistently creating the what next. And I can share with you a what next that is happening already. So one of the things we've done is to look into opportunities around the youth segment. And we've created an extremely innovative program called Youth Connect. Our Youth Connect program is to be able to provide technology and innovation drive across Africa, equipping young people and young minds to be able to develop the solutions to the African problems. So on the Youth Connect, we have a special program that is called IET, where I stands for innovation, E for environment, A for agriculture, R for renewable energy, T for technology, and H for health. So from time to time, we work with these young people to create and develop solutions that can help to catalyze growth, solve problems, and drive sustainability across Africa. So our What Next is already in that space, where as an organization that is focused on helping an entire financial service sector find resources So our programs now focus on building and shaping minds across the African continent. The last competition, we had over 3,000 African young minds subscribe, and all 3,000 placed in projects. They would definitely develop programs and ideas that the industry require, while shaping them up to be the resource persons for the industry tomorrow. So you can see that besides what we do today, we're also positioning for tomorrow, helping Africa come out of the issues and challenges and problems of Africa by working with the young minds in Africa to be able to make that happen. And it's a program that has become very attractive to global organizations, and a good number of them are partnering with us now to even provide more resources around learning, technology, design thinking, to this young mind. So you can see that next for us is taking the whole of Africa and providing the resources and harnessing the minds and shaping the minds that the continent requires to be able to advance and grow.
Clearly, the financial sector is set to move as we will take advantage of technology and moving on in the year. I think we'll wrap it up on that note. I must thank you so much. Brilliant submission. They have been speaking to the Managing Director, of course, Chief Executive Officer of the FITC. She's Mrs. Chizor Malize. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate that. Yeah. We hope to have you again whenever there are issues around the sector.
Anytime.
All right then.